Hello, friend. Today we are going to chat about the 2750. The 2750 is the channel of preservation. And again, here's my handy dandy little book, The Complete I Ching. And as I listen to Raw, as I go through my classes, I write down information and then I watch it. I watch it play out in the world. So this is the channel of preservation. Again, remember, we are in the defense circuitry. We are, this is tribal. And the tribe, as I spoke about in the last video, we're procreating, we're reproducing, we're creating more in the 59.6. And then we move over here to the 2750, and it's like, oh, well, now we got to take care of these children. We have to nourish them and preserve them so that they can be that continuity that we need, that survival factor. We need more in order to continue the human species going forward. And what I love is that, human design has everything in all of these circuits, in all of this information, if you take the time. Again, human design is not a quick fix. This is process work. So over here, what you're going to notice is on that 2750 is we're now dealing with the sacral center, the energy resource, and it's moving over to the spleen, or the instinct of knowing. And what the spleen is all about, it's an awareness that keeps us safe and healthy and well in the moment. In the moment. It's constantly giving us information moment by moment by moment to say, okay, we are safe or we're not safe. And the energy resource is saying, okay, I have the energy to care for and nourish my tribe or not. But what is so fun is that on the 27th trait or gate, which is about caring and nourishing, the very first line is selfishness. Selfishness. It is the self-provider or the coveter. Oh, really? Yeah. We must take care of our physical body first and foremost. We must nourish ourselves. We must take care of ourselves in order to give anything. You've heard this a million times. Your cup has to be full in order to give anybody else anything. What does the airline industry do? And you've heard this a million times in every self-help conversation, or teacher has said it, you put on the oxygen mask first and then you take care of the children. That's what this is all about. You need to be selfish. You need to take care of your own health and wellness in order to nourish anybody. In order for you to take care of anybody, you have to be preserved. There has to be preservation and nourishment there for yourself. So we move from this 27th trait of all about caring and nourishing. Again, it's a roll gate. So I can read those out to you. So the first line is that selfishness, it's either the self-provider or the coveter. The second line is that self-sufficiency, so it's about the nourisher or the depleter. Greed is in the third line, which is all about bonds made and bonds broken. Interesting, right? As we walk through these, you're like, oh. Fourth line is about generosity, so it's the benefactor or the dependent. The fifth line is the executor, which is the distributor or the hoarder. And the sixth line is wariness, trust or not. It's really interesting to walk through all these lines, and I encourage you deeply, if you really want to understand your body graph in a way that no one else can, go through the information, read it, go, oh, okay, so I have selfishness and greed in my energy field. What does that look like? How does that play out? And why did I just pick those two? Because my profile is a 1-3. So in my energy field, I have selfishness and I have greed. What does that look like for other people? What does that look like for me? And that's the stuff that, again, you can have a reading. It is, but the whole point of this is process work, is to go deep in there, to pull out and extrapolate all of the information and watch it be presented in the world. Watch it present itself in your energy field. How do you navigate? How are you moving? What's going on? And then we have the 50th trait. Well, the 50th trait is all about values. And the 50th trait actually is our intelligence. This is the intelligence. There is 15 billion years of information in the splenic center. And the 50th trait, it carries that information. Because the spleen is an awareness center. It's the instinctive knowing. It's that all-knowing that's there. So, it's funny that the intelligence isn't up here in the ajna or the head center. The intelligence actually lies within the body, lies within the spleen. And understand this. This is what I want you to understand, is that you're in this pot of soup, this information soup. The body is letting everything just flow through it. And the mind gets to decode it. The mind is decoding. But it's behind the 8 ball, right? The information's already flowed through the physical body. But don't let the mind get all cluttered up with bullshit. That's the critical piece. We think that the mind's storing. It's really not storing. It's actually the physical body that has all the intelligence. So when we look at this defense circuit, we're procreating and then we're preserving. We're procreating and then we're preserving. Now, I have the 50th trait, and it's all about values and that intelligence piece. I don't have children. I knew from a very young age I would not be having children. However, I can nourish children. I can care for them. So I have lots of nieces and nephews, and I have lots of friends with kids, and I enjoy that piece, but I never wanted to have them on my own. And really what I bring is I bring education. We need to educate our children. So education sits in the 50th trait, but it also sits in the 45. And all of that energy is tribal. The tribe has to educate their children. And it doesn't matter, I'm not talking about, book smarts. I'm not talking about any of that. It's about, bringing the intelligence piece of the momentum that's moving us forward. Because that's what the spleen is all about, forward momentum. Forward momentum, forward momentum. It's living in the now, and it's moving us into the future. Always, always, always. So if you have this trait, there's a particular way you're going to nourish and nurture and care for. There's a particular set of values that you do that through, and you're really here to help in that process. Whether you have children or not, like myself, I don't have children, but I've helped in the process of, as they say, it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah. Your tribe is raising the children. They're helping you do that. But always, 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 you have to have a full cup. It's all about selfishness first, and then you're able to, then you can distribute, as it says here in the 27th gate, that distributor or hoarder. You're distributing your nourishment and caring, or you're hoarding it. And most likely, if you're hoarding it, what's happened is your cup isn't full. So it's difficult to give what you do not have. And we're all meant to receive in the second trait. We're all meant to receive. We are all meant to receive. But if our cup is empty because, we've constantly been dishing out and not taking care of ourselves, there's going to be this hoarding that happens. So remember that there's always a this and a that in the human design system, in our world. We have dark energy trying to pull us apart, and we have dark matter trying to pull us together. We're always in this constant contractual expansion. But if your cup isn't full, you can't nourish. Your education piece is not going to be able to assist in the tribe. Thank you very much. Have a good day.